Welcome back. We've got more pictures and information coming to us from Dublin, where Keir Starmer is, of course, making the first visit of British Prime Ministers made to the Republic of Ireland, meeting with Taoiseach, the Prime Minister Simon Harris there. They've been meeting with business leaders. Let's listen in.
Well, today is really significant because we've made clear our ambition to reset the relationship, and today we take that forward. So we've had really significant discussions about the themes, the timetable, the structures, particularly issues such as trade. Just had a big roundtable with businesses here looking at the ways in which we can improve trade and grow our economies respectively. So today is about moving that reset on, cementing it and making it ambitious. We're clear that by March we want to have a summit to show the yield from this, and then annual summits after that. So this is a very good day for Ireland and the United Kingdom.
And in terms of improving that trade, which is already £100 billion a year, I mean, how much of an obstacle is Brexit and the after effects of Brexit still to that?
We are also resetting our relationship with the EU, and I've made it very clear that I want a closer relationship with the EU. That's, of course, on security, on defence, but also on trade, reducing the friction. And any business here in Ireland will tell you that reducing the friction helps, and so we want to reset that relationship. Obviously, that's a discussion predominantly with the Commission, but alongside the reset of this relationship, we also want to reset the relationship with the EU, and in that way make a significant difference to trade, growth and the economy.
Just on some other issues, obviously you're heading to the match this evening. Lee Carsley has said he's not going to sing the national anthem. We've seen the Telegraph calling for his sacking. I mean, where do you stand on that? Are you happy that he won't sing?
I will sing the national anthem, and we're having a fantastic reset of relations between Ireland and the UK, but the Taoiseach and I have already agreed that for 90 minutes we will suspend the reset. We'll put more energy into it afterwards because we'll be cheering on different sides. So I'll be singing the national anthem. What others do is really a matter for them.
So you're not concerned at all that the England manager will not sing God Save the King tonight?
I know what I'll be doing, and I'll be singing it. I won't just be singing it, I'll be cheering the team on.
Something else you'll be doing this week is the vote on the winter fuel allowance, obviously highly controversial. Do you still stand over stripping it away from millions of people? And what will you do to any Labour rebels?
I was elected in, our government was elected in, with a clear mandate for change. We will only bring about that change if we stabilise our economy. We've looked at the books, there's £22 billion missing from the books, and we've got to deal with that. I'm not going to ignore it. We've got to take tough decisions. Targeting the winter fuel payments is a tough decision. We've put in safeguards for many pensioners with pension credits, with housing benefit. Also, by stabilising the economy, we create the conditions in which we can ensure the triple lock is in place, and that means for all state pensions the amount of increase in the pension will outstrip any loss of the payment. It's a tough decision, but I'm determined that we will take the tough decisions because the change, which is improved living standards, people feeling better off, better public services, dealing with crime and immigration and issues like that, that change will only happen if we fix the foundations now, and that's why I'm determined to do it, tough though I know it is.
Just finally, just on the issue of early release for prisoners, which is something else this week, the Times reporting that there is a certain loophole there that may still see those who were sent to prison for effectively domestic abuse, even if domestic abuse wasn't mentioned in the charge, say common assault. Are you in any way concerned that these measures, which you clearly deem necessary, could see in real effect people who have committed domestic abuse offences being released early and back on the streets?
Let me start with how frustrated I am to be in this position. The last government didn't build enough prisons, and they're now full to bursting point. And if we don't do something, they will burst, and we won't be able to put anybody new into prison, and the criminal justice system will collapse. So I'm forced into this. I do not want to be in this position. I was for 5 years the chief prosecutor in England and Wales. The last thing I want to do is to release people who should be in prison, but I'm forced into this because they're full to bursting point. As you would expect, we've got safeguards in place in relation to high risk. We've also taken measures in relation to domestic violence, sexual violence, which is very important. But end where I started, no Prime Minister should be put in the position that I've been put in by the failures of the last government.
So as far as you're concerned, domestic abusers will not be back on the streets of Britain?
We're doing everything we can to make sure that high risk and domestic abusers, domestic violence cases are not released. But we've been put in the most awful position by the last government, full to breaking point. It's a pretty fundamental duty of government to make sure that we've got enough prison places for the people that our courts are sentencing to prison. That has broken down. And that is an utter failure of the last government. And no Prime Minister should be put in the position that I've been put in. But I've got to roll up my sleeves, get on and fix it now.
OK, let's bring in our chief political correspondent, John Craig, who's been following the visit to Ireland. John, what do you make of that?
Well, two questions on trade and the effects of Brexit, as you might expect. Keen to improve that, reset, as he puts it. A summit coming up, then annual summits on trade. On Lee Carsley, the England interim manager who won't sing the national anthem. No criticism, up to others to decide what to do. He's going to be singing the national anthem, as you might expect. And then on winter fuel allowance and the overcrowded prisons, well, blaming the Conservatives, no hint of a climb down on the winter fuel allowance vote that's coming in the Commons on Tuesday, and very harsh words about the prisons being, as he put it, full to bursting.